Good evening, good morning, good lunchtime, viewers and listeners. This is the Hound of the Baskervilles, performed by yours truly, yours only, the Earls Courtiers. Oh.
Off centre.
Stage directions.
Off centre. A half-open door in a freestanding door frame. A loud gust of wind sweeps through the auditorium. The door slams shut. The moor. Moonlight. A man in a winter coat walks forward. It's Sir Charles Baskerville. Sound effects accompany him as he walks through a mimed gate and lights a real cigar. He looks out. The feeling is that every living thing in the vicinity is on tenterhooks. He inhales smoke and he wears his out-breath. His third out-breath is replaced by an eerie, far-off howl. Sir Charles begins to look more nervous. Something is approaching fast. He turns, walks back through the gate, turns back and peers out into the darkness. Feet pound the earth, accompanied by a terrifying snarl as something approaches. Sir Charles turns and starts running for his life, on the spot. With a great demonic roar, the Hound leaps on stage. The lights snap out. A flash of light illuminates upstage as the Hound tears through the back of the set, leaving a splintered, large, hound-shaped hole. Sir Charles falls to his knees, clutching his heart, and dies. John rushes on stage.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Playhouse Theatre. Is everyone okay? Good.
Javier enters downstage right.
Thank you, Jason. Excellent bit of mime.
Jason begins an indignant response, but is cut off.
Ladies and gentlemen, every one of you has willingly come here tonight to witness a dramatisation of one of the literature's most terrifying stories.
And if you didn't come willingly, good luck.
A tale of supernatural proportions, the elements of which can creep into your psyche and rob you of your confidence to ever walk alone upon a moor.
Especially at night.
Night or day.
You'd probably be all right during the day.
Oh, really? Against the fog storms that circle you like wolves made of cloud? Against the minefield of oozing bogs that will drag you kicking and screaming into the suffocating depths?
Javier begins an impression of Death by Mud that John has to curtail.
Thank you, Javier. The point is this, before we continue, we've been asked by the British Theatre Authority...
The BTA?
Sounds like we made it up, but we didn't.
...to issue the following warning.
We don't seriously have to do this every night, do we?
Just to avoid,
Just because one person died.
Awkward moment.
Audiences for tonight's performance of the Hound of the Baskervilles. If you all suffer from any of the following: a heart condition, a nervous disposition, low self-esteem, or a general inability to tell fact from fiction, then you all might want to consider leaving the auditorium. And please remember, if you do decide to leave now, don't worry. No one will look at you. Can we bring up the house lights, please?
That's right, don't get embarrassed. If you need to go, go, like Jason here. He was running out of rehearsals the whole time.
That's not true. On a couple of occasions, I simply...
Couple of occasions?
Once or twice,
You went catatonic on the first day.
It's bloody scary.
You see?
Ladies and gentlemen, being frightened is nothing to be ashamed of. It's uncontrollable. It's a primeval emotion that's hardwired into us. And in fact, it was a shared curiosity about that aspect of the human psyche that promised Javier, Jason and myself to consider mounting this production in the first place.
But mainly because you said the title alone would shift tickets.
Well...
And if we could slash the casting down but to 3 actors, we could massively crank up the profit margins.
Well, sold it to me.
Can we all move on? Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, every significant and insignificant character from the Hound of the Baskervilles will indeed be brought to life by a cast of just 3 versatile and multitasking performers.
Well, 12, actually.
Yeah, I think we figured that out, Sherlock.
In the role of Sherlock Holmes, Stapleton, Miss Stapleton, Mr. Barrymore, Mrs. Barrymore, and a demented yokel, my friend and colleague, Mr. Javier Marzan.
Javier steps forward to take applause.
entry, good evening, and good casting too.
And turning in the part of Sir Henry Baskerville, Sir Charles Baskerville,
He's done Charles already. He's dead now.
Mortimer, the cabbie, and 2 yokels.
3 yokels, but all subtly different.
If y'all say so, is my other great friend and colleague, Mr. Jason Thorpe.
Jason applauds. John steps forward to be introduced.
Jason,
And playing the part of Dr. Watson,
the lead,
Not the lead.
the protagonist.
No.
He's got the most lines. I think you'll find he is.
Mr. John Nicholson.
John takes applause.
Thank you, thank you. Now, before we pick up the reins of the mystery again, let's just remind you of the facts as we know them. Jason.
Okay, so I'm Sir Charles Baskerville.
You were. He's dead now.
I were Sir Charles Baskerville, Squire of Baskerville Hall, Dartmoor. And now I'm dead. He's dead. Sir Charles is dead. I'm not dead already, obviously.
You're dying now, though, so get on with it.
He died in his grounds of Baskerville Hall from what would appear to be a massive heart attack to his heart. And then some demon creature ran through the back of the set.
And you came on with that announcement.
Then some latecomers came in.
However, the question remains, what was it that caused this man's heart attack to his heart?
Did Sir Charles actually come face to face with some demon, Hound from hell?
Were the dark forces of evil involved? Eh?
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare ye now for the Hound of the Baskervilles.
They prepare the set for Baker Street and begin the scene from a freeze position. Scene 3, Baker Street, the day.
I think we can safely assume that this walking stick,
Never assume anything, Watson.
I have no reason to doubt that this walking stick,
So it's a walking stick, is it?
well, yes, I think I can recognize a walk,
Can you?
can't I?
Can you?
Can't
That's for you to decide.
Well, yes, maybe I was a little hasty there. Let's revise the circumstances. So, while we were out, we had a visitor who didn't leave a calling card, but instead left a mysterious thin length of wood with a curious curve on one end.
Watson, stop being so ridiculous. Of course it's a walking stick.
Oh, I'm useless at this. I'm going to the club.
Watson, you're not useless. Close the door. It may be that you are not yourself luminelent, but you are a conductor of light, my friend, a light that shines upon me and illuminates me.
Like a torch.
Well, yes, very much like a torch, but not like any other torch, Watson. You are my torch. You are my own special torch.
I don't know what to say.
Well, don't say anything. Just turn yourself on. And keep yourself turned on whenever you're around me. Now, like now, because we have a job on our hands. Do you hear that knocking?
Yes.
Urgent knocking at the door.
Now, can you deduce about that knocking?
Coming from the door.
Elementary. What else?
It's pretty insistent.
And what does that tell us?
Whoever it is frantic to come in.
Exactly. Open the door.
Right. Ah!
Watson does so. Mortimer enters in a howl of wind and a sprinkling of leaves that he throws over himself.
Here now, the legends of the Hound!
Good day, sir. Perhaps you'd like your stick back?
How on earth did you know?
The stick can reveal the whole existence, Dr. Mortimer. You're in London for only a few days from the country, it would appear, and your business for me concerns a homicide?
Yes,
Close your mouth, Watson.
but how?
Because I am Sherlock Holmes, the greatest detective of all time.
Actually, I believe you are the second.
The second?
Well, some say the third, but I believe your capture of the infamous slasher Selden has confirmed second place, behind, of course, Monsieur Betillon, the genius of Grenoble, and I deduce from the look on your face that I've made an insulting faux pas.
You'll be kind enough to leave that deducing to moi. But you didn't call here today merely to be reacquainted with your stick, did you, Doctor?
No, sir.
No, sir.
I came to you, Mr. Holmes, because I am confronted with a serious and extraordinary problem, recognizing as I do that you are the second highest expert in Europe.
In your opinion?
No, in Europe.
To business.
Precisely.
Get on with it.
My visit concerns the recent death of my friend, Sir Charles Baskervilles.
Ah, yes, let me recall the obituary. 1 month ago, blah, 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 heart attack.
Yes.
Case closed.
I have information that goes beyond the public domain.
Case open. What kind of information?
Dr. Watson, would you lie here? Mr. Holmes, would you dim the lights?
Yes, this should be fun.
Sir Charles's body was discovered by his butler, Barrymore.
You sound suspicious already.
Sir Charles's fingers were dug deep into the earth, and although there was some obvious physical injury to his body, his face was so horrifically contorted with fear that I struggled to recognize him.
And normally you're fine with facial recognition.
He was one of my closest friends.
All right, carry on.
At first light, I returned to the scene. The ground was still damp. I was able to trace Sir Charles's footprints, and to my astonishment, he appeared to have tiptoed for some 20 yards to the spot where then he collapsed, dead.
Tiptoed?
And I discovered something else, away from the body.
Barrymore?
No, footprints.
Footprints? Barrymore's?
No. Yes. No.
No.
Yes.
Tell me, Dr. Mortimer, because I am now suddenly very interested. Why did you not call me before? Why did you wait a month?
Because, Mr. Holmes, I believe we may be in the realm where even the most acute and experienced of detectives is helpless.
You mean the realm of the supernatural?
I'd rather not be drawn.
I can't understand. Watson, put your sketch pad away.
All right.
Explain yourself, Dr. Mortimer.
An ancient family legend, some call it the curse of the Hound of the Baskervilles.
And the others?
It's generally known as that, actually.
Come on then, let's have it.
The manor of Baskerville Hall was once owned by Sir Hugo Baskerville, a profane and wicked man, nefarious and immoral.
Yes, go on. We have got the idea, yeah?
It is said that one Michael Massive, he chased a servant girl across the moors with a pack of hounds after she refused his drunken advances.
Did she escape?
She died of fear and fatigue.
What kind of a legend is that?
Please, let me finish. When Mr. Sir Hugo's reveling friends caught up with the tragedy, they bore witness to a great demonic beast that was tearing out the throat of Sir Hugo Baskerville.
Crikey.
Since that time, all members of the Baskerville family were well advised never to cross the moor in those dark hours when the power
Oh, they're all eating.
halted.
Is that it?
Didn't you find it interesting?
To a collector of fairy tales?
There have been recent sightings of the creature upon the moors, Mr. Holmes.
Dr. Mortimer, you tell me in one breath that you wish me to investigate Sir Charles's death, and in another, you think that it is useless. Are you oxymoronic?
Oh, completely moronic.
What exactly is the purpose of your visit?
I came here for advice, Mr. Holmes, advice as to how I should instruct Sir Henry Baskerville, who arrives at Waterloo Station today.
Sir Henry Baskerville.
The last in the line of the Baskervilles.
So there's no other claimant to the Baskerville fortune?
None. It is Sir Henry's wish to live in the home of his father. He yet considers also that every Baskerville who goes there meets with an evil fate. It is such an impenetrable dilemma. Mr. Holmes, what is your judgment?
A dilemma indeed, but not impenetrable. Doctor, I accept the case. I will find Sir Henry and instruct him forthwith. Your role is now complete. Very finely played. We all enjoyed it very much, didn't we?
Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Goodbye.
Oh,
Ultimate exits.
how strange! What I can't get out of my mind is the image of this old man tiptoeing around his garden in the middle of the night and then just dying.
Watson, it is so much stranger than that. He wasn't tiptoeing, he was running for his life. It is imperative that we see Sir Henry before he goes to Baskerville Hall.
Scene 4, the London steam room. Sir Henry enters downstage right, dressed only in a towel with socks and one shoe. He pushes on stage a 2-tier sauna deck before sitting on the top. Holmes and Watson enter and wrap towels around their waists over their outdoor clothes and sit on the bottom tier. The scene gets hotter and hotter as Sir Henry tips more water over the coals using a bucket ladle, sound effect and smoke machine.
Hello?
Hello.
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 Holmes, what are we doing at the London steam rooms?
Leave it to me, Watson. Sir Henry Baskerville.
Yes.
Wow!
My name is Holmes, Sherlock Holmes. My associate, Watson.
Dr. Watson.
Gentlemen, I'm honoured. Dr. Mortimer said I should expect you.
We were expecting a Canadian accent.
Yes. Well, I can't do one.
Welcome to London, Sir Henry.
Thank you. Although thus far it's been a rather peculiar welcome.
Define peculiar.
Oh, it was a joke. As like as not. This letter was waiting for me here at the London steam room.
He steps over
Read
Watson,
that.
retrieving the letter, and Watson's head gets caught under the towel skirt.
Read that.
If you value your life, keep away from the moor.
Sir Henry, who knew that you were going to be here?
No one could have known.
Water on the coals. Holmes and Watson are having real trouble with coping with the heat.
Well, someone seems to be very deeply interested in your movements.
How very dare they? Excuse me, please.
He stands to adjust his towel and reveals himself to Watson. Holmes takes the letter.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe these letters were cut from yesterday's Times, page 11. The sender was most likely a woman and very concerned with your safety.
Not me coming now rather to the region of guesswork, Mr. Holmes.
Say, rather into region, we balance probabilities and choose the most likely. Sir Henry, I notice you're missing a shoe.
Ah, yes, I can explain that. You see, I put my shoes outside my hotel room for cleaning last night, and this morning there was only one return. The hotel hunted high and low, but to no avail.
That's odd.
What are you saying?
That's odd.
Sir Henry, what do you know of the legend of the Hound of the Baskervilles?
Sir Henry attempts to tip more water on the coals. Watson manages to catch the water in his hat, breathes a sigh of relief, then absent-mindedly replaces his hat. This causes a steam effect.
It's just a pet story of the family. I never thought of taking it seriously before.
Very interesting. And so, to the practical point, whether it is advisable to you to go to Baskerville Hall.
Well, my answer is fixed. There is no devil in hell who can prevent me from going to the home of my own people.
In that case, you should go to the moor. But permit us, if you will, to accompany you.
Gentlemen, it will be my pleasure to indulge you.
Can we please get out of here now? I'm about to explode.
Sir Henry, we shall rendezvous in the morning at the train from Waterloo.
The Earls Courtiers.
Remain
their
highly
son,
vigilant. Goodbye.
Toby and his
We must
wife.
leave in haste.
Holmes, look!
They stand.
Rich-looking man with a suspicious beard, getting into that handsome cab ahead.
Driver, follow that cab.
Scene 5, the street. The sauna becomes a handsome cab that Holmes and Watson leap into. Sir Henry ends up running beside them, still in his towel and carrying the props.
Faster, faster. Sir Henry, what are you doing out here? You'll catch your death. Get back inside.
Sir Henry stops running and walks off, stage left. The cab slows up and comes to a stop.
Watson, where's our man gone?
Well, he couldn't keep up. He had the towels, the bucket, the shoe missing.
No, the man with the beard in the cab ahead.
Oh, I don't know. He just drove off really fast.
Dashing bastards. If only Sir Henry hadn't delayed us.
Who was he?
Sir Henry, the squire of the Baskerville Hall. We just met him in the sauna. Keep up, Watson.
No, the man in the cab ahead with the beard.
I don't know.
A spy?
Well, it's evident that Sir Henry has been very closely shadowed since he has been in town.
If only we got the number of that runaway cab.
Clumsy as I may have been, do not imagine that I neglected to get the number. Number 2704 is our man.
Holmes, you're incredible.
Could you swear to his face?
I'll use any language you consider necessary.
Never mind. It is imperative that somehow, against all odds, we manage to find that cabby.
Okay, let's this impossible manhunt begin.
Cabby enters with the license plate 2704 around his neck. Scene 6, the street. Watson jumps down off the cab.
Are you the cabbie?
Yes.
Rachel, you
I
are.
don't have a script. It's no good asking me to read something because I don't know where the words are. You carry on though. I'm enjoying.
My lord, your brother John is captured and is brought back to Illyria with armed men.
One play, Peter.
What?
Can you be the cabby?
Yes, hold on, Governor. Just let me switch screens here. Hold on 1 second, Governor. Exit full screen.
Bloody slow cabby.
Where are we? Which page? Hold on, hold on. Hold on a second, Mum. I just want to check whether I am the cabby.
Scene 6.
Yes, ma'am. I am the cabby.
Well done, Watson. Now then, cabby, tell me about the fare who came and watched the London steam room at 10 o'clock this morning.
Oh, London steam room, 10 o'clock. Oh, yes. He told me he was a detective, and I was to say nothing about him to no one.
Now look here, cabby. This is very serious business. And you might find yourself in some pretty sticky water if you try to hide anything from us.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry, Gov.
That's okay. There was probably no need to pull a firearm.
No. I was blocking your inquiries.
No, on reflection, I think it was a bit over the top.
No, I would have done the same. I would have shot loads of people by now.
Really?
So, your fare told you that he was a detective, did he?
Yes.
Did he mention his name?
Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, what?
No, Gov, that was his name.
So wait a minute. It was you in the cab ahead. So who was that with me?
Oh, Watson, the fiend took my name. He's playing with us. Dashing bastards, we've lost him.
So where did he go after the steam room?
He asked me to take him to Waterloo Station.
Where was he going?
Waterloo Station.
How would you describe this Sherlock Holmes?
Well,
The other one.
Oh, right. I put him at 40 years of age, dressed like a toff, and he had a black beard, cut square at the end. I don't know if I could say any more than that, Governor.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, really? Well, perhaps this will loosen your tongue.
No, I mean, I don't remember.
Watson, put the gun away.
They fight over the gun.
Watson, mind the general public. Sorry, madam. Thank you for your time. That will be all, Watson. To Baker Street.
Scene 7, Baker Street.
This is an ugly and dangerous business, Watson, and the more I see of it, the less I like it.
It's a puzzle, isn't it?
A puzzle, yes.
A big, intricate puzzle. And it's like we've got the corner pieces, but a lot of the middle pieces are missing, aren't they? In fact, all of them. The ones with the main bits on the picture on, I mean. Where are those damn pieces? What's the damn picture of? No instructions, not even a box with the picture on the lid to refer to. Little bits of puzzle everywhere. God, I hate puzzles. What do you think, Holmes?
I think you're stretching the metaphor a bit too far now. Now, I want you to accompany Sir Henry to Baskerville Hall alone.
Alone?
Without me. I'll be staying here in London on other business.
You really think I can solve this case without you?
Yes, I think it's highly unlikely.
I don't understand.
Of course you don't. And in those 3 words, my friend, you have perfectly articulated both the beauty of our relationship and the brilliance of my plan. Now here, I wish you to report the facts to me in the fullest possible manner. Never relax your precautions, and remember, it is imperative to guard against everything.
Holmes starts changing into a station guard.
Very well. Goodbye, Holmes.
Holmes has become the station guard. Scene 8.
Last call for Dartmoor. Last call for the moor.
Watson and Sir Henry board the train, which was previously the sauna. Their journey is told in a montage of briefly flickery pictures that lights up as they travel in and out of tunnels. 1. Boarding, putting luggage on rack. Blackout. 2. The guard enters to check tickets. Watson finds it in his hat. Blackout. 3. Watson showing his gun, looking dangerous as they jig about. Sir Henry gets irritated, takes the gun and aims it at Watson. Blackout. 4. Both asleep. Blackout. 5. Scary looking old lady appears opposite them. Blackout. 6. Sir Henry reading Watson's palm, then spiders up his arm and tickles him. Ended at last. Train arrives. Last stop, Dartmoor, end of the line. Scene 9, the country station. A sign reads, Welcome to Dartmoor, except some letters are missing, so it reads, Welcome to Dartmoo. John and Jason quick change into 2 yokels with long pipes waiting downstage left. Trains are coming.
That'll be
the 10 past 3.
Could you set your watch by it?
You got a watch?
No. You?
No.
Prisoner escaped.
Couldn't set your watch by that.
Wouldn't make sense.
Oh, what's that now? Hold on.
Train arrives, squealing brakes, doors slamming, etc. There's 2 men getting off together.
Get that at the bottom there, that stuff.
Not often you see that around here.
No.
Do you want to take these 2?
What in?
You're handsome.
Thanks very much, Jeff. So you are.
No, your cab.
Oh, I see. No, I didn't bring it.
Me neither.
Third yokel enters downstage right. He's a psycho with a horse on a rope in the wings.
Yes, Mariella.
I'll take them.
All right, Bernard. I'll be away into the day then.
I'll put a lamb in a bag.
They exit downstage left. Yokel 3 has quick business with the horse. So Henry and Watson enter, suitcases in hand.
Gentlemen, welcome to Dartmoor. Where can I take you?
Nowhere, thank you. We'll walk.
It's
What?
just cut on that.
The horse goes crazy.
Yes. Is there anything wrong with that?
No, not if you don't mind getting our throats cut.
Hey, what do you mean? Come back.
Yokel 3 is gone. Scene 10. The moor, day.
You don't object to a stroll, do you, Watson? It'd be nice to get to know the area.
Not at all. Perfectly lovely afternoon, shall we?
Follow me.
Phew, I'm exhausted.
Oh, me too.
Little rest?
Why not? What a strangely beautiful place this is.
Dear Holmes, we've arrived.
Now, look, Watson, a little shepherdess skipping around bits of fluffy cloud, actually. They could be sheep. Yeah, they're sheep. I can see. There's a lot. I need to get used to it round here.
And the train ticket was in my hat all along. Ha! Love, Watson. Kiss, kiss, kiss. No. What am I thinking? No, just one kiss.
Shall we press on?
A good idea.
The idyll suddenly disappears. It's bleak, terrible.
Stapleton.
Cecile!
Cecile appears at the top of the tour, very panicked.
Go back! Go straight back to London instantly! Go back!
She continues her warning in Italian. Watson dictates over her as he writes.
Adesso dove andiamo adesso assolutamente! Fare qui!
This, an exotic woman is gesticulating at me and shouting in
Andate via! Via!
total gibberish.
Sir Henry, you must go away.
You made a mistake. I'm not Sir Henry.
Oh, you're not? Ah, you're fine then. You can stay. There's a lovely B&B in the village. It's really pleasant around here. But you must go. For the sake of your life, you must leave this place right now. Adesso, via, dovete andare.
Madam, please try to calm yourself. What's your name? Where do you live?
Man, can you not tell when a warning is for your own good?
Cecile!
Shh! My brother is coming. Not a word of what I've said.
She exits upstage right, across the Grimpenmire bogland.
Madam, wait. What a strangely beautiful creature.
And suspicious as hell. A very dangerous combination, Sir Henry.
Suspicious? How so, Watson?
When you've had as much experience as I have, Sir Henry, there's not a lot you don't notice.
Watson, you appear to be sinking.
Crikey! What? Oh God, thank you! Sir Henry, so are you!
Oh, crikey, yes, this really is very soggy, isn't it?
Yeah, come over here. This seems further footing.
This isn't looking too good, is it? Back here. There we are. No?
They both sink in unison. Stapleton appears upstage right. He is wicked looking, with an eye patch and a terrible limp, for which he has a crutch.
Stop! Don't move if you value your life. You're on the Great Grimpenmire. One false step means death to man or beast. Here, let me help you.
Offers his crutch. They grab it, he lifts them up.
I am the only person who can get you out of here alive, so follow my every move.
They follow him, leaping to safety. They sit on their suitcases to recover.
You are lucky, gentlemen. Only yesterday I watched a pony being sucked into the very depths of the earth. Gone.
Jesus.
What good fortune you should have happened upon us.
Yes, I was chasing a cyclopidus.
A what?
It's a very rare butterfly. Very rare, seldom found on the moor.
What? Selden? Found them all? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Lasher Selden, the Notting Hill murderer, put away for life.
Oh, him. Yes, he escaped earlier today.
My God.
By the way, Sir Henry, I'm Stapleton, the local naturalist.
How did you know my name?
The news of an arrival travels fast in this quiet, desolate place. And you must be Sherlock Holmes.
No, I'm Dr. Watson.
Oh, I understood from Dr. Mortimer that the great detective himself was coming down to investigate.
No, Holmes is detained in London. I'm in charge down here.
Oh,
Tell me, Mr. Stapleton, what brings you to live in such a barren place as this?
A queer spot to choose, is it not? But never dull, never dull. You see, we had a school in Yorkshire.
We?
My sister and I.
Oh, the extremely pretty girl we just met.
Oh. Pretty?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, don't you agree, Watson?
So, anyway, a case of food poisoning broke out in the school, and then all the boys died, so we moved here. You must come for supper sometime.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
And Dr. Watson, I have a large collection of Lepidoptera that might interest you. In particular, a speckled brown-back fighting moth.
A speckled brown-back fighting moth.
Yes, a unique specimen. And now, gentlemen, I must be on my way. My sister will be waiting for me. Baskerville Hall is in that direction, but be careful. The night falls quickly upon the moor.
Exit.
Thank you, but I think we'll manage to get there before then.
Immediate fade tonight.
Watson, have you got a torch?
No, I've got a gun.
Is it also a torch?
No, it's just a gun.
No.
Damn. What the hell is that?
Howl of the Hound.
What the hell is that?
Oh! I don't know.
Oh!
Something's afoot.
There's a huge knotted, nervous feeling stabbing into my heart.
I'm not surprised, Sir Henry. I think it's imperative that we get off this moor as fast as we possibly can.
Wait, Watson, look, what's that flashing light?
I see it.
I believe that's the direction of Baskerville Hall. It must be Barrymore, the butler, signalling to us.
Well, let's head for that.
You'll follow me.
Scene 11. Entrance to Baskerville Hall, exterior night. A heavily bearded Barrymore appears, carrying a humongous feast on a tray. He is clearly shocked to see them.
Sir Henry,
Indeed.
welcome to Baskerville Hall.
Barrymore,
Yes, sir?
you look surprised to see us. Were you not just signalling to us across the moor?
Oh, yes, sir. It was you I was signaling to.
And what are you doing with that tray of food out here?
I thought you might be hungry.
Well, yes, we are, but don't you think we might like to come inside first, take our boots off and go to the toilet?
Or are you in the habit of serving food in the middle of your driveway?
Yes, sir. It's a very customary way of welcoming people to these parts.
How very peculiar.
Yes, sir. It all seems nonsense to me too, sir. But that's the way us moorland folk are. Bewildering. By the way, mind if I resign?
Resign? Why, Barrymore? Your family have been serving mine for generations, have they not?
Yes, sir. But Sir Charles's generosity is, in his will, has given us, my wife and I, the means to retire to Mallorca, we thought. And now, sirs, unless you insist on dining out here, let me show you to your rooms.
Good, thank you, Barrymore.
Barrymore leaves.
Sir Henry, wait! It's him, he's the murderer. Did you not notice that suspicious black beard?
I did, yes. Ridiculous size.
I'm being serious. Him and his wife bumped off your Uncle Charlie for the inheritance. Just a hunch, but come on.
Scene 12. Baskerville Hall. Barrymore takes cases, hats, and coats.
So this is Baskerville Hall. Hello, hello. To think that all this should be the same hall in which for 500 years my people have lived and died. My word, though. It isn't very cheery, is it? I don't wonder whether my Uncle Charles got a bit jumpy living here all day.
Sir Henry passes behind the fireplaces and emerges without his trousers. Watson draws his gun ready for an encounter, totally unaware.
And it's suddenly quite cold as well, isn't it? Anyway, let me get a roaring fire going and we'll make the most of it. You know, Watson, I think we could have a lot of fun here together. Just the two of us.
Smiling. Pointing to his bare legs.
Sir Henry!
Oh my God, how embarrassed. How on earth did that happen? How queer, Barrymore. Barrymore?
Barrymore entrance.
Yes, sir?
Barrymore, I appear to be trouserless.
So I see, sir.
Why do you imagine I'm trouserless?
I'd rather not get involved in that, sir.
Oh, this is too much. I feel like I should retire to bed and hope that things seem more normal in the morning. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
And I hope my room is this way.
He exits stage right.
Me too, sir.
Well, what about dinner? I'm starving. Barrymore? All that food from earlier on? Could you plate it up and bring it up to my room, please?
Sorry, sir. It went off.
Went off?
According to my wife, she binned it. Extraordinary behaviour.
I'd like to meet your wife, Barrymore.
So would I, sir.
Good night.
Good night.
Scene 13. Sir Henry pushes the bed on. He does his exercise and gets in. Lights dim. Oh, God. Oh.
Watson?
Sir Henry?
Blackout. Lights up. Sir Henry and Watson are now in bed together, clutching each other in utter terror. A candle hovers in mid-air. Huge gong. Spotlight on Barrymore.
Oh. Breakfast?
Scene 14. Morning. Full lights up. Watson in his dressing gown in bed with Sir Henry.
Barrymore! Someone was screaming around the house by candlelight last night. We also heard the pained sobbing of a woman.
A sobbing? My wife is the only woman in the house, sir. I can assure you that the sound could not have come from her.
And what about the light?
No light comes out of her either, sir.
And what of my clothes? In London, my shoe goes missing, and now I can't find my entire suit. Luckily, I have this spare one. Thank you, Barrymore. You may go.
Oh, by the way, sir, this note came for you before you got up.
Dear Sir Henry, meet me on the moor this morning. Signed, Miss Cecil Stapleton. Cecile, even.
It's a trap. I forbid you to go out of my sight unless I'm with you. And Barrymore, bring in your wife. I need to examine her.
Very well, sir. As soon as I finish parking the bed.
Wheels the bed into the wings. Watson helps Sir Henry get dressed while...
So let's see what Mrs. Barrymore has to say for herself.
What about breakfast? I'm absolutely ravenous.
Barrymore enters, disguised badly as his wife.
Good morning, sir. I trust you had a pleasant sleep.
Barrymore, what are you playing at? Go and fetch your wife.
Yes, sir.
He exits.
There's something very guilty about that man.
Do you think he might be trying to kill us?
No, I'm all right. I think he might be trying to kill you, though.
Oh, Barrymore enters in a slightly better costume. Woman's voice.
Sorry, sir. Oh, sorry. Good morning.
Barrymore.
Sorry, sir.
He exits.
Very perplexing, but what would he have to gain by such an act?
Ours is not to question the motive, Sir Henry.
Isn't it? I thought that was the whole idea of detective work.
Well, yes, if you put it in those terms, then it is, yes.
Mrs. Barrymore enters in full costume.
Barrymore, for the last time. Oh, Mrs. Barrymore, excuse me.
Mrs. Barrymore, are you sobbing?
No, sir, I'm just snuffling.
Well, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
I'm just popping into the snooker room. Watson, you know, just to relax.
Okay, as long as you're not going out on the moor.
Me? Wouldn't dream of it.
Mrs. Barrymore, please come with me. Are you sure you're not sobbing?
No, sir, it's just a snuffle.
Were you sobbing last night?
No, sir, I were not.
Well, have you ever sobbed?
Please don't shout, sir, or you'll send me off.
He exits.
Damn! I just seem to be meeting with dead ends.
Scene 15. The moor. Day.
Miss Stapleton, P.S. Meet me by the incline below the left tor. What the hell's a cleft tor?
The lamp.
Cecil? Cecile? Oh, I beg your pardon.
Cecil enters.
Henry,
Miss Stapleton, I'm so glad to see you again.
no one must see us together, Sir Henry.
Is there somewhere we can go?
No,
Nowhere?
over there.
Ah. Oh, Cecile, why are you trying to drive me away from this here?
A woman's whim, Sir Henry.
Please be frank with me. Life has suddenly become rather like the great Grimpen Mire, with swirly white smoke into which one may sink, and with no guide to the point out the track.
When you know me better, you will understand that I cannot always give reasons for what I say or do. Go back to London.
They suddenly look like they might kiss. She puts a fan to her mouth as...
Cecile!
My brother, go away! Sir Henry, go away!
She runs off, skipping across the mire.
Cecile, wait, come back. Damn it, this cursed Grimpen Mire.
He exits another route. Watson runs in. Scene 16, the moor.
Sir Henry! Sir Henry!
He is stopped by the fearful howl.
Oh! My God's name is that sound?
Large bird, he instinctively shoots it down. Sheep the same, pig the same, cat the same, then another howl.
A queer place, the moor.
Stapleton, what was that sound?
The peasants say it's the hound that the Baskervilles calling for its prey.
I won't believe it.
That's what Sir Charles used to say. We all became very concerned for him at the end. But we knew his heart to be weak, as is the hereditary condition of the Baskervilles.
You certainly pack the information into your sentences, don't you, Stapleton? Do you really believe that some spectral hound pursued Sir Charles to his grave?
Have you any better explanation?
As yet, I haven't come to any conclusive conclusions. However,
Fascinating. My sister and I have invited Sir Henry over for supper tonight. You'd be more than welcome to visit on another occasion, but at present we have 3 plates. Good afternoon.
Stapleton exits.
a very peculiar man. He's going straight on my list of suspicious suspects after that little performance. Sir Holmes, I'm adding Stapleton to the list of suspects, as he was just acting a bit odd.
Oh, a hermit enters. Holmes in disguise.
Unfortunately for him, though, he doesn't have a big black beard. So my chief suspect is still Barrymore.
Barrymore? A bit of a long shot, don't you think?
Oh, a smelly hermit. Hello.
Hello, Watson.
How do you know my name?
Well, I don't take that letter to the post box for you.
That's very kind of you, but I think I should take it myself.
Well, I live in the post box, so I may as well.
Well, in that case, thank you, but please be sure to make sure Mr. Sherlock Holmes receives it.
Don't worry, Sherlock Holmes himself shall read the letter sooner than you imagine.
That's very good of you.
Watson turns to continue writing in his notebook. The hermit opens the letter and starts to read.
Dear Holmes, blah, 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 blah. Watson, you seem to suspect everyone you met since you arrived in Dartmoor.
Give that here. Who the hell do you think you are, and how do you know my name?
Then it's me, Sherlock Holmes, operating undercover.
Yeah, right. Pull the other one. I'll post it myself.
Post it yourself, you idiot.
Right, you're going on my list too, you stinky little man.
Yes, put me on the list too. 20 years apart. Unbelievable.
Cecile.
He exits.
Sir Henry, what are you doing out here alone?
I know, I'm sorry, Watson. I just had to see her.
Oh, come on, let's get back to Baskerville Hall and compare notes.
A fireplace flies in. They're immediately back at Baskerville Hall, with elbows resting on the mantelpiece. Scene 17, Baskerville Hall evening.
Wow, you met a turnip? That's crazy.
I met a hermit, so I put it number 6 on the list.
Barrymore enters with evening drinks.
You know what, Watson? I've got total faith in you. I dare say you'd be a fair match for that infamous Holmes.
Oh, no, really, no.
Yes, really. And you know what else? I'm beginning to think of you as one of my closest friends.
He sits as Barrymore slides in a chair to fit under him and then hands out drinks.
Sir Henry, we thought you were at the Stapletons tonight.
Why so, Barrymore? Why so?
The note. I left it with the doctor.
I'm sorry, Sir Henry, but I must insist that you don't go crossing the moor alone at night when the powers of evil are exalted.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I'm sure that you'd be welcome to come as my +1.
I'm not so sure. I met Stapleton earlier. He didn't seem at all keen on extending the invitation to come.
How odd. Well, I hope they'll understand me bowing out. I suppose we could just stay here and have a bit of a slap-up meal instead.
Oh, we thought you were going, so we all ate the food.
Again? Not even a sandwich?
Not a sausage.
Barrymore exits.
Well, we'll just have to sit here and drink our way through this impasse.
This is all very vexing. What's going on, Watson? The candle, the sobbing.
Stapleton's lack of plates.
What?
Probably not that.
My missing clothes?
Distinct lack of food.
Exactly so. So what are we going to do?
And then maybe there's a takeaway in the village.
Watson, if my life really is in danger, then can we please focus on finding some answers?
You're right. We've currently got more questions than answers, and that needs reversing.
More answers than questions?
That's what we're aiming for. Oh.
So we suspect the Barrymores or something, but we don't know what that is.
Correct. But if they suspect that we're trying to find out what it is, they won't do it. And then if they don't do it, then we won't catch them doing whatever it is we suspect them of doing. Are you with me?
Sir Henry looks perplexed and suddenly has a vision.
Of course, Watson. I see what you're saying. No one else does, but I do. You're saying, let's pretend to go to bed before the Barrymores and then catch them doing whatever it is we suspect them of.
Brilliant.
There are no flies on you, Watson.
No, not at this time of year.
Barrymore enters.
Are you staying up, gentlemen?
Everyone tries to get to bed first.
No, we're off to bed now. Oh, so tired. You stay up if you want to, Barrymore. I really think you should.
No, I'm off to bed too, sir.
Not before us.
Oh, I think I will be.
Well, we've brushed our teeth already, haven't we, Watson?
Yes, I'll be asleep in 2 seconds. Good night, Sir Henry.
Good night, Watson.
Everyone exits. Scene 18, the landing night. Watson and Sir Henry re-entered downstage left, creeping. Watson is up front. They accidentally scare each other in the dark.
Get behind me. Stay close. Maybe not quite so close. Keep a bit of distance, man.
They stop, look around, listen, nothing.
There's nothing. We've walked into a detection cul-de-sac.
Loud creaking footsteps heard towards them.
Watson, wait. What the hell is that?
Stand still or I'll shoot!
Mrs. Barrymore is revealed carrying a window and holding a candle up to it.
Gentlemen, it's just me, Mrs. Barrymore. Strange to see the two of you wandering round in the middle of the night, hands in hand.
Oh, don't try and turn the tables, Mrs. Barrymore. We were waiting here for you.
Indeed we were. What are you doing with that candle? Give it here.
And what are you doing by that window? Give it here.
What are you doing with this candle at this window?
Sir Henry suddenly reacts to the image Watson has recreated, holding the candle up to the window.
Watson, you're a genius. She must have been signaling to somebody out on the moor.
Yes, quite. What's going on?
Who is your confederate out there, Mrs. Barrymore?
Oh, Sir Henry, it is my doing, all mine. My little brother is Slasher Selden, the escaped convict. He's starving out there on that moor. The light is a signal to him that food is ready, and his light is out yonder to show the spot where to bring it.
I knew it.
I didn't know.
You
didn't know?
And look, there comes the signal back.
By thunder, Watson, we're going to take that man.
Follow me!
Heads off towards the wings. Sir Henry has a better idea.
No, follow me.
Sir Henry climbs out of the window he is holding and passes it to Watson.
To the moor.
Sir Henry exits. Watson tries to follow through the window.
To the moor!
Finally, he passes the window to Mrs. Barrymore, who catches his arm, preventing him from following Sir Henry.
He wasn't always bad, my brother.
No, I'm sure it wasn't.
But as he grew older, the devil entered into him.
Nasty business.
But to me, sir, he will always be Slashy, the little curly-haired slasher boy that I nursed and loved.
I'm sorry, but I really have to go now.
Oh, if only.
Watson closes the window on her. She continues her speech, but we can no longer hear her as she exits.
Sir Henry!
He exits. Scene 19, the moor.
Watson, where have you got to, man?
Oh!
Watson, where are you? This isn't funny, Watson.
He exits. Watson enters.
Sir Henry! Sir Henry!
Watson dashes upstage and bumps into the hermit.
Watson?
Hermit!
Really, Watson, can you not see who I am?
I'm sorry, Hermit. Can we discuss this later? I'm in a bit of a fix right now.
Watson, for goodness sake, it's me, the greatest detective of all time.
Monsieur Fitzillion?
What? Me? Sherlock Holmes.
Holmes! Oh, in here all the time.
You really didn't think I'd leave you here alone, did you?
But I don't need your help. I've seen practice.
Who's the killer?
Well, it's not as easy as all that. It's really complicated, but I can do it.
Can you, Watson? And what have you done with your charge, Sir Henry? Surely he isn't out all alone in this hour of darkness when the power of evil is exalted.
Well, he's around here somewhere.
The Hound approaches.
Watson, what have you done?
Come now, Holmes. This is no time to panic.
Growing tension.
Goodness me, Watson. This is a perfect time to panic. Sir Henry's life is in mortal danger.
Are you proposing to take on the very devil himself?
The Hound is of mere flesh and blood, but I fear we are too late, for history is about to repeat itself.
A terrifying snarl above them and a scream of a man falling.
Thank you.
Sir Henry.
Scene 20. Jason entering the picture. Completely freaked out, John and Javier look very confused.
Ah! Sir Henry, what a surprise. You should be off.
I'm not Sir Henry.
Dr. Mortimer, we didn't expect you back, ever.
Jason, are you okay?
Is it gonna go catatonic again?
Jason, what's the matter?
Jason!
I've got to get out of here.
Jason, it's just a play. You're in a play. None of this is real. You're not Sir Henry Baskerville.
It's happened again.
John rushes to aid Jason.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is a good time to take a little interval. Come back in 15 minutes to find out what becomes of Sir Henry. Does he get the girl before the dog gets him?
Can he get through the second half?
Who is the girl anyway? Is she a dog? Oh, sorry, not that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you in 15 minutes for the second half of The Hound of the Baskervilles.
Oh my God.
End of Act 1.
15 minutes later.
Act 2, Scene 21.
Thank you all for coming back. Before we continue, Jason would like to say a few words.
Jason enters in a hard hat that John removes from him.
I'd like to apologise for my little outburst at the end of the first half. Theatres can often be quite an unsettling place, despite their beauty.
And this one is a beauty, isn't it? You feeling better now, Jason?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, we will now continue with the second half of...
Javier storms on stage with his phone, which he hands to John.
Read it.
Sorry?
Just read it. Go on.
What is it?
Someone in the audience has been tweeting during the interval.
So what?
Read it.
Takes the phone and reads the message.
Halfway through Baskervilles Playhouse Theatre, in general, my wife and I are very much enjoying the little production.
That's nice.
Bit patronising.
Read on.
However, we can't understand a bloody word that Dago is saying.
Alternative tweet for non-Spanish Holmes.
However, the clown playing Holmes is managing to drag the pace like an asthmatic donkey. Will hopefully rev up in the second half.
Who was it? Come now, show yourself, Robert K64.
Javier, calm down, it's just one tweet.
That's been retweeted.
How many times?
103. There always has to be 103. That spoiled it for the rest of us. Okay, well, since this seems to have such a popular little opinion, I've taken an executive decision. We're going to do the first half again.
What? No, Javier, this is just ridiculous.
If you want to complain to Robert K64.
We don't have time.
We'll have bloody time at the pace we're about to do it. This is going to hurt me more than it hurts you. Jason, make the announcement. John, bring in the furniture now.
John starts resetting for the beginning of the show.
Well, it looks like we're going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, we present you again for you the first half of The Sound of the Baskervilles.
Scene 22. Highly abridged version of the first half follows at breakneck speed that includes all sounds and lighting effects and has many props and costumes as can be managed.
Come on, quickly, Watson.
I think we can safely assume.
Javier knocks on the inside of the door.
Watson, we have a new case on our hands.
Mortimer enters. Oh, my walking stick.
Forget about the flipping stick. Tell us about the dog.
Here now, the legend of the Hound of the Baskervilles.
Is that it?
No, Sir Charles Baskerville recently died in circumstances much more suspicious than his inquest suggested, close to his rigid body were the footprints of a gigantic hound.
How can we assist you?
By saving the life of the last remaining Baskerville.
Oh, yes, of course, Sir Henry.
Sauna, Sir Henry enters with a towel around his waist over clothes. He hacks and spits on the imaginary rocks. A hiss. Watson and Holmes enter and take handkerchiefs out of their pockets to represent towels and hold them over his privates.
Sir Henry Baskerville.
Good morning. I've lost my shoe.
Anything else?
I received this warning.
Holds out a hand for Watson to read like a letter.
If you value your life, keep away from them all.
That settles it. We're accompanying you to Dartmoor. Goodbye.
Sir Henry grabs handkerchief. Watson and Holmes immediately play exposed.
Holmes, look! There's a suspicious-looking man.
Come on, Watson.
With a
All
specific
three run on
black beard.
Gallop, gallop, gallop. Oh, we lost him. Stop. Really? We absolutely must find that cabin.
Impossible! There he is!
Jason uses his towel as a cape.
Describe the man who was watching us in the London steam room.
Oh, he said his name was Sherlock Holmes. He had a big black beard and he asked me to take him to Waterloo Station.
Where was he
Waterloo Station.
Thank you, Kerry. Watson, to Baker Street.
Where's my puzzle gone?
Watson, I will not accompany you to Dartmoor.
More.
No, that's all I have to say. Last call for Dartmoor.
5-second edited train montage sequence. The trains arrive. Prison siren, John, Jason, and Don yokel hats. Jason puts a pipe in his mouth too quickly and gags.
Looks like prisoners escape.
Slash the Selden.
That's a chap. Looks there's two posh knobs getting off together.
I'll take him. Swap back to Watson and Sir Henry.
So, this is Dartmoor. Not at all threatening. Shall we walk back to Baskerville Hall?
But I may. Whoa! I'm knackered.
Me too.
Want a little rest?
Why not?
Right, let's press on.
Immediately
Needs
stand
wait.
back up.
Needs wait.
Strange and
Cecile,
exotic.
Cecile.
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 An exotic.
Running past them in a dress.
Well, there was.
Wait, come back.
Henry, I think you're sinking.
Already?
I'm afraid so.
Stop, don't move. If you value your life, follow me.
He holds his stick out for them to grab, but they miss it and fall forward over suitcase quickly. Hopping sequence, jumping to safety. They are certainly luckier than the horse.
You were certainly luckier than the horse I met earlier. I am Stapleton, proud owner of a speckled brown backfighting mug. The whole school died when I was a teacher in Yorkshire. Would you like to come for dinner with me and my sister? Good day.
Blackout.
Good night.
Watson, do you have a torch?
No, just this gun.
Let's head towards that light.
Splendid.
Follow me.
Speaking into empty space.
Ah, Barrymore.
They wait for a moment. Barrymore rushes in position, grabbing the tray of food. As before, he shoves the beer between his teeth.
Were you not just signaling to us?
What's with the tray of food?
Who gives a shit? Let me just show you your rooms.
Henry, there's something very suspicious about that man's beard.
Let's get inside. So, this is Baskerville Hall, eh? Watch out, Watson.
The Baskerville Hall fireplace flies in, narrowly missing John. They hurl discarded coats and suitcases at Barrymore, who attempts to field them.
Just think, Watson, that this is the very place that for 500 years my family have...
His trousers come off as he passes behind the fireplace.
Sir Henry!
Oh my God, how embarrassing. I'm going to bed. Good night.
Good night.
Watson and Sir Henry stand behind a blanket that is thrown on.
Sir Henry, can you hear sobbing?
Yes, and I think I can see a light.
Gong morning.
Breakfast? Sir Henry, this note came for you this morning.
Barrymore, did you see any sobbing or hear any light?
I didn't heard any or seen anything. Neither did my wife.
What does the note say?
Stapleton wants me to meet her on the moor.
I forbid you to go.
Okay. Miss Stapleton.
Bleating.
Cecile. Oh, Cecile.
Still in his pants.
They're all looking at me.
Sir Henry, go back to London and put some trousers on.
Hey,
Wait, come back. Oh, this cursed Grimpen-Mire. Cecily. Cecile.
Sir Henry!
Watson shoots some more animals in quick succession. Responds to sounds of screeching bird, a cow, and lastly, a very excited elephant.
Oh.
Sequence ends in a house. Stapleton enters, miming his clutch, which he hasn't had time to pick up.
Stapleton? What was that hound sound?
The Hound of Baskervilles. Where's Sherlock Holmes?
Up London.
Running across and throwing hermit coat to Javier.
Cecile.
Dear Holmes, things are getting very peculiar.
Why don't I post that for you?
Who the hell are you?
Sherlock Holmes.
Do you think I'm stupid? I'll post it myself.
Post it yourself then. 20 years in this idiot.
Sir Henry, you, the beard, the candle, the sobbing, and the food. It's such a puzzle. Let's get back to Baskerville Hall. Now, what's my plan?
Let's pretend to go to bed with the Barrymores and find out what's going on. No, sorry, that's wrong.
Barrymore enters with a beard.
Barrymore, what's going on?
Nothing. But you could ask my wife.
He flips the beard upright onto his forehead like a beehive hairdo.
Ah, Mrs. Barrymore, what's going on?
My brother is Sasha Selden. He was such a nice flashy puppy once.
So he's out there now. Come on, Watson, after him.
Stick close to me, Sir Henry.
They run off in opposite directions, accidentally swinging window shut on his hand on exit.
Now, you bastard.
Door.
Sir Henry! Sir Henry!
He's gone, you idiot.
Monsieur Bertillon?
What are you talking about? It's me, Sherlock Holmes.
Who?
Holmes.
What are you doing here? I thought I was in charge.
The Hound is a mere flesh and blood, but I fear we are too late. History is about to repeat itself.
Snarling above them and the cry of a man falling.
Ah! Sir Henry!
Sir Henry's body drops from the flies, a dummy in Sir Henry's distinctive suit, We are back to where we were at the end of the first half. Cast looked like they run a marathon.
Are you happy now? Robert K64 and Twitter friends? Can we carry on?
Wait.
John is having an asthma attack and uses his inhaler to recover. Jason comes on to bow if there is applause. Scene 23, the more.
Okay, second half.
Points to dummy now on the floor.
There.
Henry!
No, we are too late. He's dead. He must have stumbled over the precipice high up there in a wretched fear for his life, with a beast at his heels.
Listening with a stethoscope to the dummy's chest.
He might still be alive.
Half his head is missing. He's really dead.
There might be a chance.
Pull yourself together, man. Look at his brain.
Holmes boots the dummy's head in frustration, sending the dummy flying across the stage. Watson retrieves it and starts trying to resuscitate with furious chest pumping.
What kind of doctor are you?
Come on, mate. You can do it.
This is the great blow that is befalling me in my career. Uncle and nephew murdered. All is lost. Now it was near impossible to establish the connection between the man and the beast that caused this massacre.
You believe a man controls this beast?
I have no doubt they were working as one.
Like a werewolf?
Nothing like a werewolf.
Oh.
Watson, but what are you talking about? It's not even a full moon. I fear Stapleton is responsible for this.
Stapleton? How do you know?
I deduced it.
But why would he do such a thing?
I don't know yet.
So how do you know it's him?
I just do.
But,
Watson, please don't question me. All you have to do is put Henry inside. That's all you had to do.
Look, it wasn't so easy. He was very headstrong once, and everything was really confusing, and I was really hungry. I was trying my best. And anyway, what were you doing? You made me write you all those letters, and then I found you were here the whole time, dressed up as a living tramp.
Oh, a hermit, actually.
Whatever. Just making fun of me. I don't understand.
Watson, from the moment Dr. Mortimer entered the room, back in Baker Street, I knew I must be here.
Oh, just leave me alone.
But it was imperative that no one, not even you, my dear friend, suspected that the great Sherlock Holmes was keeping track of events. It was the only way I could tempt the villain to put a foot wrong.
Oh, so I was just a decoy.
No, Watson, you were my torch. Your letters were my torch out there in the fog.
You burnt them?
Yes, but only after I had read them. Without them, I would have been lost.
Really?
Really lost and cold. Much colder.
I just feel like nothing compared to you.
You're not nothing, Watson. You're my torch.
I love Sherlock.
I know.
A moment of bonding which gets broken.
So what do we do now? Arrest Stapleton?
On what grounds?
Killing people with his dog?
With what evidence? The devilish cunning of it? If he had acted through a human agent, we might have had a chance. But even if we were to drag this very big dog of the Baskervilles into the light of day, it would not help us in putting the rope around the neck of its master.
Because dogs can't give evidence in court.
Well done, Watson.
It still sounds like a bit of a long shot to
Just
me.
trust me, Watson. And I think it's a little bit late to care for Sir Henry now, don't you? Why don't you just put him on the floor, for God's sake, Watson, and you're getting hysterical. Now, let us back to Baskerville Hall, and we'll return to Sir Henry later with a horse. The special tool to untangle him.
Goodbye.
Scene 24, Baskerville Hall.
Quite a place he died for.
This is a nightmare. Sir Henry dead, Selden loose again on the moor.
Selden says hello, by the way.
You spoke to him?
No one else to talk to out there. Quite a nice chap, it turns out. Very misunderstood. You see, the thing about criminal minds is that it's paradoxically an inverse mirror of my own.
During this, Sir Henry walks in and is only noticed by Watson. Watson is totally freaked out. Slow motion sequence.
Whoa!
Watson, you're back, thank God. Barrymore and I were just about to go out looking for you. I don't know how we got separated. Are you all right? You look like you've just seen ghosts.
Sir Henry, you're here!
Yes, it's my house.
But you're alive! I thought you... I just saw you!
begins prodding Sir Henry. Watson goes from being totally freaked to totally elated. Sir Henry joins in the game, and they end up going from prodding to wrestling in glee on the floor.
Oh, it's like a rodeo.
Ending up at Holmes's feet.
Sir Henry, long time no see. How are you keeping?
Oh, Miss Holmes, what a pleasure. Welcome to Baskerville Hall.
What's going on?
Well, what's going on?
Well, it's pretty obvious, isn't it?
No.
You see, the body out there on the moor wasn't Sir Henry's at all. Just as I thought.
You didn't think that.
Body? Is there a stiff on the moor?
Yes, just there. And Watson thought it was you.
Me?
That's right. But it isn't, is it? So that's good, isn't it?
So, who is it on the moor?
It can only be Slasher Selden.
Well, good riddance to him.
Sir Henry, Watson wrote me to say that he had seen you stripped your briefs. I'm intrigued.
What are you insinuating?
Nothing, but I suspect your clothes never surfaced.
No, they didn't. What of it?
Nothing, it just settles a little matter in my mind.
Watson suddenly sees the light.
Mrs. Barrymore. She must have taken your clothes to get to her brother Selden out on the moor. And the Hound picked up the scent because it was chained to the scent. Of course, Sir Henry's missing shoe, and the very shoe that was stolen from you in London. And we believe the owner of the dog to be Staple.
Bravo, bravo.
Clapping and encouraging Sir Henry and the audience to follow suit.
Twaddle, Watson. Watson is talking total twaddle.
Wait, what are you saying? The Hound is real and it's trained to hunt me down?
Of course not. Ha ha ha! The very idea.
Tries to get the audience to follow suit.
Now, Sir Henry, why don't you go and saddle up a horse to fetch Selden? Watson will join you in a moment.
But Watson just said...
Sir Henry, go.
But Watson said the Hound...
Sir Henry, go.
But the scent in my shoe...
Go.
Sir Henry's almost gone.
Sir Henry.
Yes?
Go.
Sir Henry...
You thought he was dead. You pretend you didn't. And now you're saying he's perfectly safe.
Watson, sit down quickly and let me explain. When I saw Sir Henry walk into the room, I was astounded as you are. Never have I had to control my emotions so. But if we are now to ensnare Stapleton, it is imperative that Henry suspects nothing untoward.
Well, I'll just carry on with the twaddle then, shall I?
Watson.
What?
Your little deduction back there.
Thank you, you said.
It was one of the most insightful pieces of detection I have ever witnessed.
You mean I was right?
Of course you were right.
Oh, really?
I need you, Watson.
You really mean that?
Go and fetch Selden. I need time alone to think.
But surely Sir Henry should stay here with you. He'll be safer.
The danger is past for him tonight. The Hound is only released when Sir Henry is thought to be crossing the moor alone. And as far as Stapleton is aware right now, the beast completed its work tonight.
So that's why. I knew he had more than 3 plates.
What?
But if Sir Henry sees Selden dressed in his missing suit, he might start to put 2 and 2 together.
Not if we keep quiet. All we need to know now is that Mrs. Barrymore stole his clothes as well as his food for her brother. End of story. And here it is. Take this.
Oh, what is it?
It's a gun that doubles up as a torch.
Oh, thank you.
Good luck, my friend.
To the moor!
That's my boy.
Scene 25, the moor, night. Sir Henry is struggling to pull a horse on stage, reins taut into the wings, stage right.
Come on, Victor.
I fear he doesn't want to go any further, Sir Henry.
Nonsense, Watson. He's just a bit shy.
Sir Henry is pulled off stage. Watson enters now, pulling on the reins.
Come on, Victor.
Watson pulls so hard that he pulls Sir Henry on stage. They are left standing, holding the two ends of the reins between them and looking sheepish. The horse runs off.
No doubt he'll follow us, sir.
No, I'll get him. Victor.
He exits. Stapleton enters across Grimpen Mire. Watson is very scared now he knows Stapleton is the killer. Very tense atmosphere follows.
Dr. Watson,
Stapleton!
you're probably wondering what I'm doing out here in the middle of the night.
Not at all. Seems perfectly normal to me. Not at all suspicious. I really like you, Stapleton.
I had expected Sir Henry for dinner earlier. I thought perhaps he might have got into some trouble out there. Oh, but dear me, what's this? Somebody hurt? No, don't tell me. It is our friend, Sir Henry. Oh no, how could this have happened? Oh, cruel word.
Sir Henry returns.
Oh, hello, Stapleton.
Sir Henry?
Oh, sorry I missed dinner earlier tonight. Bit of a mix-up.
How the... But what a relief you're alive. So who the hell is this idiot?
This is Selden, the escaped convict.
Selden? How the hell did that happen? And what's he doing in your clothes?
Long story. You see, Mrs. Barrymore.
And what does Sherlock Holmes make of all this?
As you know, he's in London.
Yes, but is there no one he even faintly suspects of anything?
There's no one.
Well, gentlemen, I wish you both good luck. And Sir Henry, it would be such a shame to lose you. We'll rearrange the dinner invitation.
He exits, furious, cursing to himself.
That chap really is a bit weird, isn't he?
Stapleton? No, he's great. Really normal.
I worry for his sister.
Miss Stapleton, why?
Watson, I'll come clean with you. Cecily is practically all I think about, but I fear that she's crept into my soul.
Oh, well, that's really nice. It's late. Let's get Sasha back to Baskerville Hall.
They pick up the dummy and, on exit...
By the way, did I ever tell you about the time I fell in love? It was a Tuesday morning, one summer's evening, and the birds were singing backwards.
Scene 26. Sir Henry drops the dummy's legs. Watson exits with the dummy. Sir Henry is left on stage in a moment of thought.
Oh, Cecily.
This conjures up a dream sequence. Cecile enters.
Cecile.
They tango. Watson accompanies on the horn. Green fades away.
Watson. Cecile. Watson, I'm coming.
He exits. Scene 27, Baskerville Hall, morning. Watson is taking notes. Holmes has a plate of cooked breakfast, which Watson is drooling over.
Yes, Stapleton is our target, all right. Now we must get it one step ahead. We must discover the motive, and we can corner our man. Here's my plan.
Wait, can I not just have one bit of sausage?
No, forget about the sausage.
Please, I'll just bite off the end.
Watson, they're stuck to the plate. Have you not got the concept yet? You've ruined it now. Oh. Now, pay attention. I want you to go to the village and mingle. Get as much dirt as you can on 1, Stapleton, 2, the Hound, and 3, anything else you can think of.
I can't think of anything.
Well, just 1 and 2 then. Leave 3 blank.
And Sir Henry?
It's only a matter of time before Stapleton will strike again with the Hound. Sir Henry must, on no account, be allowed to leave Baskerville Hall alone.
That could be tricky. You know he's in love with Miss Stapleton.
I suspected as much. I saw them spooning on the moor. I'll talk to them. I shall join you later in the village. And Watson, remember, if Stapleton suspects we are onto him, he'll slip through our fingers like the moorland fog itself.
Scene 28. The village, day. Yokel 2, Jason as before, holding a bag with a lamb in it, bleating.
Lamb in a bag. Lamb in a bag for sale. I've got a bag here, and it's got a live lamb in it.
The bleating becomes frenzied. Yokel swings and smacks the bag hard on the floor. The bleating
It's not real.
Watson enters.
Dead lamb in a bag for sale, fully tenderized.
Excuse me there, peasant fellow yokel man. I wonder if I might ask you a few questions.
Well, I ain't doing nothing wrong, if that's what you're asking.
What makes you so sure?
What makes you so sure?
I'm not.
Neither am I. So what are you talking about?
You tell me.
I've no idea.
Right.
They both relax.
Do you know anyone who might want Sir Henry Baskerville dead?
No. Do you?
Yes. I mean, no.
If somebody wants him dead, eh?
I never said that. I'm just investigating a certain person who might.
Who?
I can't say, it's confidential.
Why don't you give me some kind of clue?
You'd guess if I did. No.
I'm sure I would.
I thought as much. By the way, is that lamb ready to eat?
I'm not selling it to you, silly boy.
They fight over the bag.
I need his evidence.
You can't have it.
I'm starving.
Holmes enters upstage right.
Watson, stop fighting with the indigenous population. Come over here. Now listen, there's been a development. The man we know as Stapleton is not Stapleton at all.
Who is he?
I don't know yet, but a whole school in York died of food poisoning whilst under the care of a man called Vandeleur.
Vandeleur?
Yes, let's follow that lead.
Cut to.
Small cow in a sack. Won't say bovine for purchase.
Excuse me there. Wait a minute. Not, was I just talking to you over there?
No, sir. That was my wife's husband.
Right. Well, tell me this. Can you think of any reason why anyone, Stapleton, let's say, may be intent on killing Sir Henry Baskerville?
I'm sorry, sir. I can't think of any reason.
Okay, thank you very much, peasant. Run along.
Right, you are. Come on, boy. Walkies.
Watson, over here. The net is tightening, my friend, and I had to work back from the Royal Leaderpetrist Society and a Brazilian man called Vandeleur registered to the discovery of the only living speckled brown backbiting moth.
But that's Stapleton. Stapleton is Vandeleur.
And that's not the interesting part. He's registered the find with his Brazilian wife.
He's married.
Yes, and I believe Miss Stapleton to be, in fact, his wife.
Oh, he married his sister.
No, just pretending she's his sister.
Why?
Think about it. Bait, honey to the bear.
There's a bear? Of the Baskervilles?
I give up. But the question remains, why would Stapleton want Sir Charles and Sir Henry Baskerville dead?
Holmes exits. Cut to.
The answer lies in the snooker room.
Who are you?
I said the answer lies in the snooker room. 7 points, sir.
Idiot.
Scene 29, Baskerville Hall. Fireplace flies in. Watson leans on the mantelpiece, studying his notes.
Rare moths. Brazilian identities. Wives pretending to be sisters. We're lost in an incestuous South American menagerie of intolerable dead ends.
Sir Henry enters, putting on his coat, clearly on his way out.
Sir Henry, where are you going?
Move aside, Watson. I've got to get out of here. I've been incarcerated in this bloody house all day. I must see her.
I'm sorry, but that won't be possible.
Right. I'll go out the back door.
Holmes enters, blocking his exit from the other side.
Sir Henry, I'm afraid we can't allow that. Moment.
Has the danger passed yet?
Officially, there's no danger. Unofficially, however...
Why can't you just tell me what's going on?
Just trust me. Now, why don't you go and have a bath or something?
A bath? I've already had 3 today.
Well, you're looking quite sweaty again, actually. Another one will do us all a favour.
Sir Henry exits indignantly.
Watson, we are so close, but this case is driving me to despair. Here I am, the greatest detective of all time, helpless. What can I do? What can we do?
Watson throws him a snooker cue and wheels a snooker table on stage, but it is only the corner on 3 legs. The rest of the table is cut away. They take all the shots from the corner but play the rest of the table. The sound of balls supports action.
Game of snooker.
Aha! Excellent idea, Watson.
Scene 30, the snooker room. Jason stands behind an empty picture frame, holding it in front of his face. Holmes takes his first shot as he passes. He accidentally knocks the frame with the cue and it swings jauntily. He puts it upright. As Watson takes his shot, Holmes paces along the imaginary wall of Baskerville family portraits. Jason has to shift along accordingly with adjustments to his expression as each picture is identified. Then Holmes retraces his steps.
Amazing. An incredible family likeness in all the Baskerville portraits. Look there. That chap is a spit of Sir Henry. And that woman, Sir Henry. And this little child.
Jason raises a frame so only the top of his head is within the frame.
Sir Henry.
Holmes lines up his second shot. Watson follows Holmes' observation and points to the pictures himself.
Yes, you're right. Sir Henry, Sir Henry, Sir Henry Stapleton.
Holmes, in sudden shock, rips the cloth with his cue. Jason is downstage facing the audience in his frame.
What did you say?
This one looks like Stapleton.
Watson.
Watson takes shot. The ball rockets into an imaginary pocket. Holmes palms a real ball out of the imaginary pocket and rolls it onto the table. Watson is surprised.
Who is that man in the portrait?
That's who it all started with. Sir Hugo Baskerville.
And you just likened him to...
Stapleton.
Watson, what do you know about the portraits in this gallery?
Quite a lot, actually. Sir Henry called me senseless the other night.
Tell me who this one over here is.
Sir Charles Baskerville.
And this one?
That's Sir Charles's brother, Roger Baskerville.
And what do you know about this Roger?
Well, he left England long ago to seek his fortune in South America. He had an illegitimate son by a Brazilian wench, but the child has never come to light.
Until now, that child was our friend.
Javier turns. He puts on the eye patch he uses for playing. Stapleton grabs the frame and puts it up to his face, contorting his face to Stapleton.
Stapleton? Exactly, Stapleton is a Baskerville.
And he's
The frame is handed.
And he's bumping every Baskerville off along the way to get it.
Watson, you cracked it. Now we have him. Soon he will be fluttering in our net as helpless as one of his own butterflies. A pin, a cork, and a card, and we have him to the Baker Street collection.
Oh, that sounds ominous.
The time is upon us sooner than I expected. The theatre of deathly intent begins, and we have front row seats. Now is the time to play into Stapleton's hands. We must release Sir Henry alone out onto the moors at his request. Now go and play your part. Answer the door.
I'm coming!
They exit. Scene 31, the bathroom. Sir Henry is shaving with a cutthroat razor. Watson walks up behind him.
Sir Henry.
In surprise, Sir Henry carves a blade across his own throat.
Sir Henry, Stapleton's sister Cecile is here to see you.
Here?
She's downstairs now.
But I'm only half shaved.
You must go to her.
Quick, help me clean that up then.
Cecile, I'm watching you.
I won't disobey you, please, husband.
How do I look?
Fantastic.
I'm so nervous.
There's no need to be. Good luck.
Here goes.
Snap 2. Scene 32, Stapleton's front doorstep. Cecile enters. Sir Henry and Cecile are side by side downstage, facing out in separate lights. But we imagine they are face to face at the front door. Stapleton is clearly nearby, making sure Cecile doesn't betray him. During the scene, Cecile has to try and service Stapleton's plan, but ultimately warns Sir Henry of the danger he is in. Javier has to play both Stapleton and Cecile.
Good evening, Sir Henry.
Cecile, I mean, Miss Stapleton.
Cecile.
Cecile.
Sir Henry, I have come to ask you for dinner tonight. Don't come.
What?
My brother and I would be very honored if you can make it. Don't come tonight.
I don't understand.
What's not to understand? Come to dinner, but don't come.
I understand, you're being coy.
So, is that your final answer?
What is?
That you won't come, yes?
7 o'clock?
No, yes. But if you do, be careful. Don't stray from the path and bring a weapon.
Cecile!
I have to go. I will see you later. But I won't.
Runs off. Scene 33, Baskerville Hall. The fireplace flies in. Watson is carrying out the plan to ensnare Stapleton by using Sir Henry as bait, much to Sir Henry's confusion.
How strange. What do you make of that, Watson?
Sounds like a lovely idea. I bet she's a great cook.
She's just so beautiful, don't you think?
Beautiful. She's absolutely ravishing. You should go.
Hang on, so why are you suddenly encouraging me to go after forbidding me to leave the house all day?
Forbidding you?
Yes, all that stuff about power of evil being exalted.
Oh, well, all the evil's gone now.
Gone?
Strange, isn't it? And on your way across the moor. Don't take any care, and don't walk too fast.
Walk? If I go, I shall ride, Watson. You can't.
Why not? You can't.
Why not?
Victor's not well.
Not well.
I rode him into a wall.
What?
At a colossal pace.
What the bloody hell did you do that for?
For fun. Just for fun.
Holmes enters.
Holmes, Sir Henry's been invited for dinner at the Stapletons. Tonight.
Well, I've got an idea. Why don't we all go? I'm sure they won't mind.
No, Sir Henry.
Come on, I absolutely insist, or I won't go.
We can't.
Oh, come on, let's send them a request. What possible excuses could you have?
We wouldn't dream of accompanying you, you silly toff.
I beg your pardon.
And so you should, you checkered imbecile.
Yeah, we're not coming with you, beef cheeks.
Come on, Watson, we're returning to London. We've been pouncing about in this unwelcome dump for quite long enough. And oh, Sir Henry, if Sir Stapleton asks to borrow any item of clothing tonight, I suggest you let him. Goodbye, you ridiculous buffoon.
You stupid Yankee clown.
But I'm Canadian.
All right, moose boy.
Yes.
An insult, Worcester. Worcester? Well, excellent insults, Watson. The trap is now set. Sir Henry will cross the moor alone, and we must hurry. We can't lose him.
Scene 34, the moor. Sir Henry crosses the moor alone, the sound of the hound. Watson and Holmes creep forward, holding up bushes and hiding behind them. Sir Henry enters the Stapletons' parlour, split stage effect, as in stage 32.
Oh! There he is. He entered the fiend's den. Maneuver yourself into position, Watson, and report your observations. I shall hide here, behind this rock.
Okay, Holmes. Wouldn't it be easier if we both just watched?
Yes, but less rewarding for them.
Gestures to the audience.
You get to use your torch gun.
Oh, right. I've got a killer view from here. I can see Sir Henry standing alone in the Stapletons' parlour. What must be going through that man's head now? This confounded moor fog, it grips you like a wet towel. Aha! There's Miss Stapleton.
Cecile appears in the house. Watson narrates the scene like a silent movie. In fact, the scene looks like a silent movie with suitable underscore.
She's greeting Sir Henry and taking his coat. There seems to be a fair amount of passion between them. He appears to be making love to her. Yes, he's preparing to kiss her, but wait, he's stopped it. She's trying to tell him something. Stapleton, he's heading downstairs. He's nearly upon them. Miss Stapleton hears him. She's running out of the room. Where's Stapleton? Surely he should be in there by now. Christ, this is a deceptively big house. Here he is. He's greeting Sir Henry and telling him he's bought lamb in the bag. God, that sounds good. Sir Henry is telling Stapleton that you and I have come back to London. Excellent. Stapleton looks very pleased about that and is telling Sir Henry that he's going to start cooking. He's leaving the room. Sir Henry is heading for the window. He mustn't see me.
He ducks. Stapleton returns, wrestling with a dummy of Cecile.
What's this, though? Miss Stapleton is trying to get into the room. She must be trying to warn Sir Henry. But Stapleton has her by the throat. Sir Henry mustn't see this, or our whole plan is spoiled, Holmes.
Distract him.
Watson distracts Sir Henry from the shenanigans behind him with a donkey impression.
Hee-haw! Hee-haw! You fiend! Don't look back, Sir Henry!
Watson distracts Sir Henry again by throwing a stone that smashes through the window. Smash. Stapleton manages to throw the dummy of Cecile out of the room.
He's thrown her out of the room! He's coming back! There's a slight issue with the glass. Oh no, it's quickly resolved. He's telling Sir Henry that Miss Stapleton has been taken ill. That's a lie. And Henry appears to be making his excuses to leave. He's heading for the door, but he can't find his coat. He's leaving without it. Stapleton is taking something out of his pocket and blowing it. I can't hear a sound.
How? Smoke machine lets rip around Watson.
Of course! It's a dog whistle! He's calling the Hound! Holmes, I can't see anything. A sudden blast of moorland fog has made visibility impossible, and this plant is now attacking me. Ah.
He fights back until Holmes returns.
All right, Watson, I'm here now. Stop beating around the bush. Well done. Now is the hour when the powers of evil are truly exalted. We have to pray this confounded fog gets no worse.
It appears to be
Much more smoke.
Oh, the curse, this abominable place. Our success and even Sir Henry's life depends on him coming through this way before the fog covers the path.
Holmes, we must stop this.
It's
No!
too late. We are in the control of the universe, and the fearsome battle between good and evil is about to ensue. Follow me, quick!
They exit. Scene 35, the moor, night. We see a man coming through the fog. It's Sir Henry, downstage centre. The sound of the Hound and full-on atmosphere. Watson and Holmes appear upstage right at the top of the tour. All three are now looking directly out to the audience. The terror increases. The Hound is heading straight for them.
It's Sir Henry!
Yes, Watson. Ready your gun.
And the Hound!
It's almost upon us.
Holmes, I don't like this.
There, Watson, take your aim. You'll only get one chance.
Oh, my Lord!
As the sound rears on stage, Watson fires out at the audience. Confusion. There is a terrifying yelp as Sir Henry screams and hits the floor.
Sir Henry! Oh.
Watson and Holmes rush down to him. Holmes thinks they are too late for a second time.
Oh, dash and bastards.
No.
They look out to the audience.
There lays the Hound of the Baskervilles.
A sudden and jolting yelping and snarling as the Hound rears up again. Slow motion sequence. Sir Henry grabs the gun which was left on the floor and fires out into the audience. On the third shot, we're suddenly back in real time. Dying yelp. Incredibly dramatic music stops.
Dun, 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 dun.
There lies the Hound of the Baskervilles, dead.
Sherlock Holmes, John Watson, you've saved my life, and I thank you for it. But I don't understand.
Stapleton, he's behind all this.
Stapleton?
Are you strong enough to stand?
Give me a mouthful of brandy and I shall be ready for anything.
Watson hands him a flask. He takes a shot and is immediately revived, springing to his feet.
I'm afraid, gentlemen, that our work is quite complete. There is only one place Stapleton will flee to.
The Caribbean?
The Grimpen Mire.
Exactly.
If it's true that Stapleton is behind all this, I will hunt him to the end.
It is true.
Then I shall hunt him to his end.
Very well. I must go and secure Miss Stapleton's safety. Take care, gentlemen. See you back at Baskerville Hall.
He departs.
Come along, Sir Henry. I'll explain everything about Stapleton being a Baskerville and wanting you dead for the inheritance along the way.
They start to walk.
Sir Henry?
Yes?
Stapleton is a Baskerville and wants you dead for the inheritance.
No.
I'm afraid so.
Scene 36. The Grimpen Mire.
And now we must find him. Stapleton, where are you? You can't get away with this. Turn yourself in, you fiend.
Take care, Stapleton. The tables are well and truly turned. Come out, you coward.
Stapleton!
Suddenly, Stapleton attacks from behind. Watson is thrown to the floor. Stapleton has Sir Henry by the throat with his crutch.
You won't just die, will you, Sir Henry?
Does the money mean this much to you, Stapleton?
Money? I don't care about money. I'm a Baskerville. I do this for pride, for the pride of my fathers and their fathers.
Watson releases Sir Henry from Stapleton's grip. Stapleton leaps into the Grimpen Mire to escape them.
Don't be a fool, man. In this fog, no one can find a way through.
Stapleton starts to sink. He's lost his crutch.
Oh, shit!
Stapleton, you're sinking.
Yeah, we can help you.
I don't need your help.
Lie down. Spread your weight evenly. It won't drag you down.
No. I go to my death, cursing the very name Baskerville.
Stapleton! Stapleton!
Save your breath, Sir Henry. He's gone.
What a truly terrible way to go.
And an end to a truly terrible life.
Stapleton's arm suddenly shoots out of the Mia Allah scene from the film Carrie.
Session!
The hand slips away. The men have a moment to reflect.
Watson, you didn't mean all those things you said earlier, did you? About me being a moose boy and having beef cheeks?
No, of course not, Sir Henry. It was all part of the plan to ensnare Stapleton.
The fireplace flies in. Cut to scene 37, Baskerville Hall. Cecile is sat waiting. Sir Henry only has eyes for her.
You see, if we hadn't have insulted you, then you would never have crossed the moor.
Oh, Cecily.
Sir Henry. Oh.
Sir Henry glares at Watson before mouthing "fuck off." Watson exits, shocked.
Cecil, I'm afraid I've got some bad news about your brother.
Sir Henry, I don't have a brother.
So you know already?
Know what?
Well, that your brother is,
Sir Henry, I don't have a brother. I am not Stapleton's sister. I am his wife.
His wife?
It's all been such a dreadful lie. I will explain.
But before you do, I must tell you that your husband is dead, and so is his beast.
Oh, Sir Henry, the universe has answered my prayers. Long have I yearned for this day.
You have?
Yes, even when I wrote that note to you in London.
Which note?
If you value your life.
Keep away from the moor. That was you.
Yes.
Oh, Cecily, I love you.
Sir Henry, I love you too.
You do?
Yes.
Reprise of the dream dance. Cecile steps out of her dress and passes it to Sir Henry, followed by bonnet and shawl to create a puppet. Sir Henry dances off with Cecile as the scene morphs to Baker Street tango style. Watson pushes in the door. Holmes brings in his chair. Scene change ends with a flourish. Scene 38, Baker Street. Watson is thrown a present by Sir Henry, who then waits in position. Watson unwraps it. It's an empty picture frame. As he hangs it on the wall, Jason pops up to hold it in front of his face. It is now a hanging portrait of Sir Henry.
And what's this?
From Sir Henry, to thank us.
So now we will have to have his ugly mug staring out at us, a couple of beef cheeks hanging on the wall. What a kind thanks is that?
Holmes,
Sir Henry glares at Holmes from his portrait. There's hostile play between them.
Holmes, I can't stop thinking about that great dog, the way it seemed to come out of nowhere.
All smoke and mirrors.
Do you really believe that?
Yes, and a little bit of human nature gone bad.
So it's all just smoke and mirrors.
Yes, and a little bit of nature gone bad.
So there is really nothing else for us to worry about in this life.
We are what we are. Take away everything that is impossible, and what are you left with?
Everything.
Not quite, old friend.
Nothing?
That's closer. But actually the answer is the truth.
Ah, I see.
Do you?
Not entirely, no.
Well, never mind. We have plenty of time to think about all that.
A contemplative pause whilst Watson and Sir Henry try to work out this little riddle.
Come on, Watson. We've been working like dogs.
Very good, Holmes.
I have reserved a box at the opera.
Really? I'll fetch my stick. I think it's over there. Holmes, wait, you're looking a bit rough. No, I'm joking. You look astounding. Come on, I'll get the Labrador.
You know what, Watson?
What?
I love you.
Exit. The door closes with a huge echoey slam. There's an eerie spotlight left on Sir Henry in the frame, looking amused.
That door was good. Very
A
good.
terrifying howl. Sir Henry Jason is petrified. The Hound approaches.
Oh, God.
A terrifying roar as we fast cut to a quick blackout with suitable and conclusive music stab.
Dun, 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 dun. Here ended the Hound.
And
Yay. Very good.